A huge shout out to those of you who have decided to support my channel by becoming patrons. It means so much, and because of you, I can make this video. Hello, good afternoon. I am Ash from Winging It with Ash. If you haven't found that already, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to do it down below. I make all sorts of videos. I have a travel focus, and that's something that I'm focusing on today in this video. I wanted to talk about why solo female travel literally terrifies me. It freaks me out to think about going on a trip all by myself, and I figured if I felt this way, then there have to be some of you that feel the same way. First, I want to talk about the reasons why it terrifies me, the reason why I question if I am the right type of person to go on a solo travel trip. I have been to over 70 countries. I have been in Washington State for over 6 months now, whereas before that I was traveling full-time for 4 years. I kind of am anxious. Like, at first when I came back, I thought, yeah, it's great to be in one place for a long period of time. But as time goes on, as we are stuck at home, I have become more and more anxious to get out and see more of the world, to experience more culture, and to meet more of you guys, more people. And yeah, I think that I am just getting ready to travel again in some capacity. I just don't know what that's going to look like. The more I think about it, the more I think that solo travel is something that's in my future. And yeah, it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I think, well, maybe I could do it. But I still have all these fears that kind of are bubbling up, things that I'm thinking about that I've never had to deal with before because I've always had a travel partner. Never have I been on a trip that I would consider a solo travel trip. The things that have been plaguing my mind when I think about going on a solo trip are, am I strong enough? Am I strong enough to say no in certain situations? Am I strong enough to be lonely? Because there will be times that I will be lonely. Am I strong enough not to get homesick? Because when you travel with someone, they become your home, and you can travel from place to place, and they help it feel like home. But being a solo traveler, I am fearful that without that one person or those comfortable people, I may have more homesickness than I've ever experienced before. I also love sharing experiences. I'm one of those people that are always like, look over there, look at that, did you see that? I can't help it. And so without having someone right next to me to point things out to and enjoy together, I don't know how enjoyable I will find the experience all alone. It's so funny because I always thought of myself as a super independent person, and I have done a lot of things by myself, a lot of things alone. Like, I would go in Los Angeles out to places with a lot of people just to have that experience all alone. But that is not the same thing as taking a week, 2 weeks, months on end all by myself in a new place where I don't know anyone. Also, at my age, at this stage in my life, staying in hostels, is that something that I want to do? I'm questioning, is a hostel life for me? I really like Airbnbs, and I think that those are way more my style, but the loneliness of that kind of makes me fearful, because I think that in a hostel atmosphere you get to meet a lot of travelers. If you're staying in an Airbnb, your chances of meeting other travelers is less. It's still possible, but it's less. And then my insecurities will come out, meeting new people, meeting new travelers who have their own experiences, who don't know my past, who don't know who I am, and being vulnerable with those people. That makes me really nervous to think about that. I also am scared that I see the good in people. Like, it's way easier for me to see the good, and so I am so nervous that I will trust people too much. I will give people the benefit of the doubt when they haven't earned it, or they don't deserve it, and or I could be taken advantage of in a situation because I'm too trusting, I'm too friendly, I'm too nice. Like, yeah, that really freaks me out, because I won't have someone along my side saying, listen, this maybe could be a sketchy situation, or that person is not necessarily trustworthy. yeah, I think that my whole life that's something that I have done, and I think that it's a strength, but it also could be a weakness in a situation when you are vulnerable, a single solo traveler, a female. I have to be aware of all of my surroundings, all of the things that are going on around me, to ensure my safety, to ensure that I am not putting myself and or anybody else in danger or in a bad situation. And yeah, that freaks me out to think of the possibilities there. Another thing about being alone is my mind sometimes just goes crazy, like my imagination of just little noises, or if I found a spider in the shower, could there be billions of baby spiders inside the shower? That I have, like, if I am in a freak out stage, I have no one there to calm me down. That worries me a little bit, because I think that quite often my imagination could run away from me and I will be stuck all by myself with that, like with those thoughts in my mind. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I would deal with that situation. I have been surrounded by people my whole life. Like, I love being around people. And so putting myself in a vulnerable spot like that, where I know already that my imagination could run crazy, it makes me question how I would handle that situation, how I would overcome that kind of mind game. Another thing that's come across my mind is getting sick while overseas. I know that a lot of you probably have gotten sick overseas. I definitely have been sick many times overseas, and without someone next to you to go and get you your meals while you're in bed with a fever, like, when you're solo traveling, there is no one to do that for you. When you are sick, you have to go to the pharmacy and try and speak another language while you have a fever, or you're throwing up, or you don't know when your next diarrhea will come. You know, like, that is a situation that I could see myself in. Solo traveling is having to go to the grocery store when I am so ill and I don't even want to get out of bed, but I know that my body needs nutrients, that I need to get water because maybe in the country I'm in I can't drink out of the faucet. Like, those things will have to be done no matter what, no matter how I feel. There's not somebody else there right next to me to go and do those things. I know that I would want to be that for someone. Like, if I was in a hospital and somebody was really sick, I would definitely want to help them out and do it for them. So it is a possibility that others will help you out, but man, yeah, it's awful being sick while traveling, and I just cannot imagine being sick while solo traveling. It just sounds awful. So with all that said, all those fears out in the open, this is how I feel. I'm sure some of you feel the same. I question, is solo travel for me? Is solo travel something that I want to give a chance? Is solo travel something that I want to try out? And the answer is heck yes. Yes, I do. I think that I could learn so much from that situation, like being alone, learn about myself, learn about other people, put myself in vulnerable situations, put myself in opportunities where I can grow and become stronger. I think that, yeah, solo travel is definitely something that's part of my future. And for me, that's a very recent realization that solo travel is something that I could do, something that I am willing to do. There are so many of these thoughts that are just in my mind, but when this is all over and we can travel again, I really think that going on a solo trip for me would be really important, just to reevaluate, to remember what I love and what I'm passionate about, which is travel, which is learning about other cultures, which is being vulnerable. And I love being put in situations where I have to think off the cuff and come up with solutions. That makes me excited. That makes me joyful. That brings me joy. I miss it so much. And after stopping travel for over 6 months now, I'm realizing more and more how much of a passion seeing other cultures and being a part of other cultures is for me. And it's something that I don't want to stop doing. Solo travel, I think, definitely is in my future. I think that all these fears that are everywhere you could possibly relate to. And I just want to say that fear is not something that should stop you from doing something you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, and something that you get joy from. Fear is not going to stop me. I have had fear in my life forever. You know, fear is a common thing. But I think that if you allow fear to stop you from doing those things, you're going to miss out on so much. And I don't want to miss out. I am determined to see my life go in places that I may be fearful of at the moment, but in the future I'll look back and say, what the heck was I thinking? Why was I so fearful of that? I cannot wait to see this video in the future and listen to it and listen to all my fears of why solo travel freaks me out, terrifies me, and think, why were those fears? Why were those things that were going to stop me? You know, like, those things could have stopped me, but I looked past them and it wasn't that big a deal. No big deal. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys, and for you to see that, yeah, fear is not going to stop me. Fear is going to push me forward to overcome it and see incredible, amazing things. We're along for the ride, and we're gonna wing this, guys. I'm winging it. I don't know when my first solo travel trip is coming, but I promise that I've been looking into things, and I've been thinking a lot about where I would like to go first after this whole thing is over. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you are all in my thoughts and prayers, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.